Tobias Harris had 14 points. He was a minus 23. Now, I don't wanna say that the Pistons lost because of Tobias Harris. Okay, there was a certain instance where he was driving to the rim in the third or the fourth quarter, looked like he was gonna dunk on somebody and put up the weakest, most Tobias Harris airball layup I've ever seen. And the very next possession, Mikal Bridges posters Cade Cunningham with the left hand just to kind of show you, hey, this is how you finish in the playoffs, you know. And people did remind me yesterday that the Pistons had Tobias Harris off of the floor for that whole run, and they put him back in the game with about 2 minutes left, and they lost the game. I'm not saying Tobias Harris played a terrible game. 14 and 5, 6 for 10 from the field, 60%, 67 true shooting percentage. But how do you manage to be a minus 23? And with the minus 23, I mean, look, nobody else is a minus even 10. Nobody else is a minus 10. Just every time Tobias Harris got on the floor, the New York Knicks made a run. There's really nothing else you can say besides the fact that for some reason, when Tobias Harris was on the floor, the Detroit Pistons were worse at basketball. I've seen it so many times in Philly. I don't know what it is about him, but for some reason, you're just probably better without Tobias Harris. It happened in Philly so many times where we were like, I don't really know why, but we're just better without Tobias Harris, to the point where he would get like a little bit of an ankle injury and we would kind of celebrate it. We'd be like, oh, I don't want to celebrate an injury, but I hope he's out for like 7 games. I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know how you managed to be a minus 23 in a game where nobody else was even a minus 8. And yeah, the same, I guess, coaching mistakes. You know, I talked about it before, but Sixers coaches have fallen into it before, where, you know, they respect Tobias Harris. They like him a lot. His tools, in theory, are something you want out there on the floor. His size, his shooting ability, in theory, is something you want out on the floor. His ability to guard players in the post, in theory, is something you want on the floor. But when you go on a 20-4 run, when you go on a 23-4 run, you probably shouldn't change the lineup. What happened? Done. When you go on a 23-4 run and you know, you take the lead in the fourth quarter, I don't know why you change anything about what you're doing. And they put Tobias Harris back in the game and they lost the game. And I don't know how, but he's a minus 23. Yeah. I found a way to blame Tobias Harris. Shout out to me for that. Lie Nugent, don't disrespect Toby, man. Well, welcome to Run It Back Philly. Jalen Duren is the next Andre Drummond. Nah, I don't see that comparison. Andre Drummond can't shoot a free throw to save his life. Never could shoot a free throw to save his life. Still can't shoot a free throw to save his life. Jalen Duren, 9 for 10 from the free throw line. He was 8 for 8. He was 9 for 9. He only missed one the last time he went to the line. I think Jalen Duren can develop a bit of an offensive game, and I don't think Andre Drummond has never had an offensive game. Don't let the fact that Nick Nurse runs post-ups for Andre Drummond blind you from the fact that Andre Drummond does not have an offensive game. Rob R., thank you for the super chat, man. I'm backing Boston in round 2. Yeah, I said it. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. That's how disgusted I am with Brunson and his Dolphin activity. Yeah, again, I watched last night's game. I watched Jalen Brunson absolutely take the game over in the fourth quarter by himself the final 2 minutes. It was one of the most clutch performances I've ever seen. I gained a lot of respect for Jalen Brunson last night at the end of the game. They overturned the one flop on the baseline, okay? And yeah, did it again kind of at the out of bounds line mid-court, and they called it. I hate that. But if you're going to call it, he's going to keep doing it. I don't respect it. I think it's like, where's your pride? Where's your dignity to play the game that way? But the final 2 minutes it was just alpha activity. The final 2 minutes was just Jalen Brunson being more of a dog than everybody else on the floor and maybe everybody else in the NBA. And again, when he crossed Asar Thompson off of the screen out of the arena, I think Asar Thompson is still running. He's still tripping over his own feet from that crossover. He has not stopped stumbling. When he crossed over Asar Thompson and got that wide open 3 with 4 seconds left, everybody on the planet knew it was going in. I can't say anything bad about Jalen Brunson after that. And it's kind of making me, I can't believe I'm about to say this, It kind of made me want Jalen Brunson to upset the Boston Celtics. Damn. Did I just say that? Bro, what else do I have on this game? Give credit to the Pistons for always fighting back. Malik Beasley just bricks in the fourth quarter. Bricks on bricks on bricks. And then he goes into the post-game show. His post-game presser, Malik Beasley. Oh, by the way, game-ending turnover for Malik Beasley. I forgot about that. This is why I take notes, because I can't remember anything. Brunson hits the shot, and as a Knicks fan, I only hate Tobias Harris because of you. Jalen Brunson hits the three at the top of the key. 4 seconds left. The Pistons have a chance, and Cunningham tries to feed Malik Beasley on the wing, and he drops the ball. A Gary Trent Jr.-esque play, right? And number one, I think Cade Cunningham has to take the ball into his own hands right there. I know he missed a couple layups going to the rim late in the fourth quarter. He wasn't having a good time scoring the ball late. But I think you are the best player on the floor for your team. You have to take that final shot. And I know Cade Cunningham is a point guard, and he has that point guard mentality, and they doubled him at the top, and he made the point guard play. Swing it to the right to the three-point shooter on the wing. Would have been a game winner. The guy dropped the ball. Then he comes into his post-game press conference and says, Malik Beasley, that is, he says, I'm the best shooter in the world. He said something about somebody else. I forget. Jalen Brunson's the best clutch performer in the world or something. And he hit the shot to go up. And he said, I wanted the final shot because I'm the best shooter in the world. What? First of all, my friend, Steph Curry's the best shooter in the world. Second of all, Malik Beasley to me is a J.R. Smith type. Great shooter at times. Kind of gets ahead of himself, gets too cocky, starts to think he's some kind of superstar. I mean, I watched this guy hit threes and do a dance in like the first quarter of a Sixers game down by 10 points. This guy will make a three and do like a TikTok dance in the corner in the first quarter of a basketball game. Like, what are we doing? He's interesting to me, man. And he seems like a little bit of a head case where fourth quarter crunch time, you take an early shot clock threes in transition and shooting bricks, right? And then you have a potential game winner and you drop the ball out of bounds. And then you call yourself the best shooter in the world in your post-game press conference. Malik Beasley is oh no, man. He's an interesting guy. He is an interesting guy. What else do we want to say about this Knicks game? I guess nothing, man. Knicks versus Celtics. Who am I going to root for? I can't call it, man. I can't call it. What do you guys think in the chat, man? Sixers fans? Is there Celtics fans in here? Is there Knicks fans? Who are you guys rooting for? Who are you guys rooting for in the Knicks-Celtics series? Brunson made Thompson slide like he was in risky business. I hope my Knicks can win 2 games. Is it that much of a mismatch? I don't think maybe it's my Boston Celtics hate blinding me again. But I don't think the Boston Celtics are some kind of juggernaut, man. Who had the widest margin of victory in the first round playoff series? What team? I'll tell you what team. It was actually the widest margin of victory in the history of the NBA playoffs first round. This team that I'm about to tell you had the widest margin of victory in a first round playoff series in NBA history. It was not the Boston Celtics. It was the Cleveland Cavaliers over the Miami Heat, even though Tyler Hero said, don't let us get one game, and then puts up a massive 11-point performance in game 4. I don't even know if he had 11. I think he had 9, actually. But the Boston Celtics, man, look, incredibly talented. Maybe the best roster ever assembled, talent-wise, right? Defensive-wise, to have Derek White and Drew Holiday, 2 of the best defensive two-way point guards in the NBA on the same team is kind of unfair. To add Porzingis is kind of unfair. They are a dominant roster, but I think the Boston Celtics play with their food a little more than the Cleveland Cavaliers do. And the Boston Celtics, to me, have a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for, man? They have a little bit of like, I deserve this. And they have a little bit of cockiness that they just yell at the refs in a way that's like, we are the Boston Celtics and you are supposed to call this. Roll out the red carpet for me. I want them to lose so bad. The Cavaliers are the only team that can do it. And we'll see if it happens, man. Miami Heat have no stars on that team. Of course, they're going to lose by 55. Well, I mean, do the Orlando Magic have stars? I mean, I guess you can call Paolo a star. So That makes sense. But the Celtics should have had a pretty wide margin of victory over the Orlando Magic. I mean, you're going to, you went 5 games with Franz Wagner. The guy's a 29% three-point shooter, Who else is on the Orlando Magic? They got dudes starting that I've never even heard of, But yeah, that's how I feel about it. I am hereby rooting for the New York Knicks to beat the Boston Celtics. Damn. I am. I absolutely am. And the thing about it is that the Sixers fans hate the Celtics. Now, this is something that's in my DNA. This is something that's completely out of my control. This started in the 80s with the Dr. J. Larry Bird era. This started in this goes way back, and the Celtics have taken the Sixers out in the first round more years than I can count over the past 10 years. But I can't ever root for the Boston Celtics. There's people on Twitter saying Sixers fans should be rooting for the Celtics to win this series because we're supposed to hate the Knicks this much. And I just gained a little bit more respect for the Knicks in this series, particularly at the end of this game 6, and I will never, ever root for the Boston Celtics to win a playoff series. That's like an Eagles fan rooting for the Dallas Cowboys. It's not going to happen. I can't do it. So I am choosing which team I despise less, and it is the New York Knicks, slightly less than the Boston Celtics, so I got to root for the Knicks in this series, man. That's where I'm at, man. Wow, did he say that? I'm a Knicks fan. If the Sixers play the Celtics, I would root for the Sixers. Yeah, we all hate the Celtics. We all hate the Celtics. Me and all my homies hate the Celtics. Actually, I have a couple of good friends that are Celtics fans, but that's because they're idiots. What if Knicks beats in this series due to Brunson going full flopper on them? No, I don't think the referees are going to call that type of stuff in this series. What a day. Does Celtics or a bigger rival to the next 76ers are? Does Celtics or a bigger rival to the next 76ers are? I don't know what that means.